Hello and welcome to Deck Builders Kansas City, where we talk all things outdoor living. Today we are going to look at how Kansas City weather affects your deck and what we do in the design and build process to handle that. Our climate gives decks a little bit of everything: summer heat, winter freezes, storms, and plenty of moisture changes. Let's start with the ground. When temperatures swing up and down, the soil underneath your deck moves. That is why properly designed footings matter so much. We set footings deep enough and wide enough to support the structure as the soil expands and contracts through the seasons. If footings are too shallow or undersized, you may see posts lift, tilt, or drop over time, and that movement can crack finishes and loosen connections higher up. Next is the framing. Wood framing members expand and contract with changes in temperature and humidity. If the framing is undersized or spaced too far apart, those movements can show up as bounce, squeaks, and sagging. We size beams and joists with that in mind, so the structure can handle both the live load of people and furniture and the stress of weather over the years. Moisture is another big factor. Rain, snow, and humidity all work their way into outdoor wood. We pay attention to how water moves across and through the deck. Proper gaps between boards, good ventilation under the deck, and smart flashing details all help water leave the structure instead of getting trapped. When water sits in the wrong places, rot starts, and once rot gets into key framing members, the strength of the deck drops quickly. Sun is hard on outdoor materials too. UV light can fade stain, dry out wood, and warm up surfaces. That is one reason many homeowners in our area look at composite decking that is designed to resist fading and warping. Brands like Fiberon and others in that category engineer their products to handle years of exposure with less change in color and shape. You still need a strong frame underneath, but the surface itself stays more stable in our hot summers. Wind and storms also affect design. Taller decks and railings catch more wind, so we think about bracing and railing connections carefully. We use the right hardware and blocking to help the deck resist side-to-side movement, and we make sure posts and railings are anchored firmly into the structure. When strong winds hit, you want the deck and its railings to act like one solid unit, not a loose collection of parts. If you are building a covered deck, screened porch, or sunroom, the weather forces increase. Roofs add weight and wind loads that travel down into the deck frame and footings. In those cases, we almost always upgrade the framing and connections beyond what a simple open deck would need. It is not just about keeping the surface solid, it is about making sure the structure can handle the extra loads from the roof during storms and winter snow. Material choice ties into all of this. Pressure-treated wood can stand up to a lot, but it still needs care to deal with moisture and sun. Composites and certain railing systems provide more built-in resistance, but they must be installed correctly to perform as designed. It is not enough to pick a good product. The installation has to match the conditions we see here in Kansas City. For homeowners, the main takeaway is this: when you think about your deck, think beyond how it will look this summer. Think about how it will handle 10 or 15 years of seasons. Ask your builder about footing depth, framing sizes, hardware, and drainage. Ask what they do differently on decks here compared to milder climates. Those questions will give you a good sense of how seriously they take long-term performance. At Tough Deck Builders Kansas City, we build every deck as if it will need to stand up to the full range of local weather for many years, not just one or two. If you would like to talk about a weather-ready deck or patio project for your home, you can reach our team at 913-379-3099 or visit toughdeckbuilderskansascity.com. Thanks for listening to Deck Builders Kansas City. We will be back soon with more practical advice to help you build outdoor spaces that stay strong through whatever the weather brings.